Welcome back to the Combine. I'm your host, the Rizzler. And today, I have a joke for y'all. Or should I say, a riddle. What's Batman's favorite fruit? Banana.
Rizzler! Get out of my chair.
No.
We'll be back at the Combine right after these messages.
Things gon' change when I really hit the field. Undefeated chance, man, you know what's the deal. Tryna find a kid, I'm in the field doing drills. Boy, you just a sucker, you ain't never keep it real. 3 rings in my hand, I'm a warrior to the max. When I hang it up, they gon' have to give me plaques. Step up in the building and I only bring the facts. When I make a highlight, they gon' replay, run it back. Okay, always locked in, now I don't got time to lax. Saying he the best, he could take a lap. Batted 1,000 when you check the stats. Boy, is you ready? You ain't gotta ask.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Combine. I am currently joined by Uncle Eddie, otherwise known as John Warner, and a Ghostbuster, Mr. Justice Covert. How are we doing, gentlemen?
Other than the fact that it's cousin Eddie, I'm doing just fine, Clark. Not your uncle.
Is Uncle Eddie everywhere else? Cousin Eddie's fine. I'm not your Uncle Clark. I am Bruce Gaines, otherwise known as Latman. And today we're going to be talking the MLB World Series, and it has been dynamite so far, baby. It's been awesome. And I want to start off real quick. Mr. John has game one, but wanted to add a little flair to the situation. I am a firm believer that the only reason Texas won that game is because they had some Creed in their pregame playlist. I mean, you know, can you take me high? You know the drill. You know the drill. Would you agree with me, John?
I mean, I don't think you can underestimate the importance of a factor like Creed. So that definitely probably played into their amazing come-from-behind win in Game 1, which I want to get into a little bit. So the Rangers took Game 1 at home, 6-5 in 11 innings, off the back of a Adolis Garcia walk-off home run, which he's just been on an absolute tear in the postseason.
Oh, yeah.
With that home run, he actually broke the record for most RBI in a single postseason, breaking David Freeze's record from his Linsanity run back in 2011 with the Cardinals against the Rangers, ironically. So it's safe to say that Garcia put the team on his back in the ALCS over the Astros, securing the upset on the road. Game 6 and 7, Garcia absolutely carried and got the Rangers to the World Series. And it looks like he's not slowing down. He's been on fire so far through Game 1, hitting the heroic walk-off home run.
Oh, yeah, and before we get into Game 2, I wanted to make a brief mention of this is going to be, I believe, only the 7th time that a wild card team is going to win the World Series. You were mentioning he's put the team on his back. I think both teams have just fought tooth and nail to get where they are right now.
Yeah, the Diamondbacks have the second worst record to ever win the National League and show up into the World Series. So they're definitely an underdog in this situation.
Yeah, only 7th team to win, or one of them is going to be the only 7th team to win World Series as a wild card team. It blew my mind when I read that stat. But moving on, we did see an awesome come-from-behind victory Game 1, but Game 2 was, ooh, buddy.
Game 2 wasn't close. The Snakes are alive. They came back and they got a huge bounce-back win. They win 9-1, thanks in part to Tommy Pham, who went 4 for 4 with 2 doubles and scored 2 runs. Gabriel Moreno, their catcher, got his 4th home run of the postseason. Ketel Marte, though, 18th straight postseason game with a hit, dating back to 2017 where he went 4 straight games with a hit. Now every game this postseason he's gotten a hit, so now he is the only player in MLB history to have gotten 18 consecutive games with a postseason hit. But I think the best performance is probably Merrill Kelly. He went 7 innings pitched, 9 Ks, only 3 hits allowed, 0 walks compared to the 10 they allowed against the Rangers in Game 1. That is a big improvement. Only 1 earned run off of a home run he gave it to Mitch Garver, but that was a huge performance by Merrill Kelly. He gives the bullpen some rest. They get an off day, and now they're coming back with a 3-game slate at home. You couldn't ask for more from Merrill Kelly there.
Oh, yeah. And Game 2 was a massive win. Massive for Arizona. Because, I mean, me personally, I think Arizona was coming to this game as the underdog. Like, Texas, I think Texas has been dominant so far.
Absolutely.
And coming in and getting a win in Texas, coming into a 3-game home stretch, like, you know, you have the chance to seal this thing off at home, which is incredible. But I forgot I made this graphic. W. So we're coming into Game 3, which is going to be tonight. I believe it's 8:30 p.m. and Eastern Time for our fans in Canada. And
All of them.
and so we're going back to the desert. We're going to be in Arizona. And although the majority of the numbers coming from this graphic right here are coming from Game 2, it's just a dominant victory, I think Arizona puts up a very good fight. I think they ride the high from Game 2 into Game 3. Playing with a home crowd, I think they're going to be incredible tonight. But I don't want to stick on this too long because I want to jump into a little bit of a prediction while we have some time. I think they win Game 3. I think Texas takes Game 4, and Arizona takes Game 5, and we go back, and I think Texas wins out. But I wanted to ask y'all, because we're gonna throw up my little Texas graphic in a little bit. I'll talk about that. But I want to ask y'all, coming into Game 3 and going forward, how do you think this is gonna play out, game by game?
So Game 3, obviously, as you said, the series is shifting back to the desert in Arizona, but that's not to say that's a disadvantage for the Rangers. The Rangers are actually 8-0 on the road this postseason. So both these teams have been road warriors. They both went in the championship series. The Rangers went into Houston, won 2 games in Houston to win the series. Diamondbacks, same thing. We're down 3-2 going into Philadelphia, Game 6 and 7, won on the road in a very tough place to play. So I don't think home field advantage will play much into the series. I mean, we saw it kind of do it in Texas as they fed off that energy from Corey Seager's massive game-tying 2-run homer in the 9th inning off Paul Sewald, who hasn't blown a save. That was his first runs he's given up in the entire postseason, was to Corey Seager. He had been absolutely lights out. So that had to sting a little bit for the Diamondbacks, knowing that they could be up 2-0 right now and in the driver's seat. But, I mean, that's been their MO the entire season. Their nickname's the answer backs, because every time you think they're down and out, they punch their way off the ropes and put themselves in a great position to advance. And so for that reason, because these two teams are so resilient, they both know how to win on the road, I think this series is going to go to 7 games. I don't think it's possible to say, the Rangers are done, the Diamondbacks are done. I think that this series is going to go the distance.
Yeah, I think Game 3 is probably the most critical game of them all. Max Scherzer, how he plays is going to be the most important. His last World Series start in 2019, Game 7 against the Astros, which the Nationals won 6-2. He went 5 innings pitched, allowed 7 hits, 2 earned runs, and 4 walks. What they need from Scherzer is the same type of performance from Kelly, something that will just extinguish all momentum from the Diamondbacks and put the series back on track for the Rangers. If he goes out there and lays an egg and they lose, I don't think it's going to be a good 3 games for the Rangers here on out. I think the Diamondbacks could potentially just finish this up in 5 games.
On that note, the Rangers starters have been a little disappointing so far. They desperately need a good start here tonight from Scherzer, because Eovaldi got roughed up in Game 1, gave up 5 earned runs, but that was the only run. He gave up 5 earned runs over 4 2/3, but that was the only runs that the Rangers allowed in that game. The bullpen pitched 6 2/3 scoreless innings the rest of the way to take it home. So the bullpen answered the bell, but Eovaldi, really for the first time all postseason, kind of got hit around, and then Montgomery had just kind of a disaster start in Game 2. But, I mean, that happens. He's been also great in the World Series. But the Rangers are going to need a starter other than Eovaldi and Montgomery to win a game for them. That's just what it boils down to over a 7-game stretch. And so these next 2 games next 2 or 3 games until Eovaldi and Montgomery roll back around are going to be absolutely critical for them, because they really can't afford to fall into a deep hole.
So, predictions, final predictions. Am I correct in saying that you were Arizona in 5?
Yep. If Max Scherzer can't get it done, and if the Texas Rangers hitting stays in this lull, then I don't think they can compete. They went 1-11 in Game 2, but Corey Seager, Adolis Garcia, and Marcus Semien all went 1-11, combined for 1 walk and 4 strikeouts. That's not going to win you the World Series.
I'm going to throw mine in. I have Rangers in 7. I think it's going to be very, very tight, but I do think they come out with it. And Mr. John, real quick, yours.
So a crazy stat for you right here. Diamondbacks won the World Series 2001. George Bush threw out the first pitch in 2001 of that World Series. The Diamondbacks ace pitcher killed a bird while throwing a baseball in 2001. Zach Gallen did it this year. The dates of the World Series from 2001 and 23 are exactly the same. And the All-Star game was in Seattle in 2001 and 2023. So I'm taking Diamondbacks in 7, just like 2001.
You're both wrong. But when we go to commercial break, let's have a brief eulogy for this bird that was hit by a ball. This is very, very sad news. I was not informed of this, but we'll be right back after this quick commercial break. Rest in peace, bird. Hello. My name is Ty Paton, and I am a licensed sports therapist. And today I'm here to help 3 people cope with their misfortunate teams. Maddie, when was the last time the Bears won anything?
I don't think I've ever experienced that feeling.
Maddie, the MVP is not a real award.
But it was voted on.
By kids, Maddie.
Yeah, it was a real award, and I think that's one thing that we can, we made history with that moment. We don't have to talk about Trubisky or the draft because I really don't like to think about that. It really just makes me, I'm sorry.
Now, Maddie, is Mitch Trubisky still with the team?
No. I'm not sure he's in the NFL.
You know,
I know Mahomes is, and he was drafted ahead of him. Actually, Mitch Trubisky, it was a bad one. And now we have Justin Fields, who I had belief in. And the worst thing about sports, it's the hope it gives you.
Maddie, at times like this, sometimes we as fans like to hold on to what was.
Yeah,
But
my dad
sometimes
still
you-
talks
you-
about the 85 Bears like it was yesterday. I texted him yesterday. I was like, how about this Bears game? And he was just like, this is so sad. I
You know,
watched with
but-
my neighbor's lifelong Bears fan. I watched with them. It was just, you can't describe the feelings that were showcased in that living room.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Combine. And today we are talking something very, very exciting because from the time of this airing, in 4 hours from when you're watching this, the NFL trade deadline is occurring. So no trades past 4 p.m. Eastern time today on Halloween will be null and void.
Eve.
Up until that point, the only trades available can happen then. And we're going to be jumping in and talking about some of the hottest names on the trade block currently. Especially, I want to get into really deep right now some receivers. And my man Jared Fox has all the information on this guy. We're going to go ahead and throw out Hunter Renfrow. Where do you think he's going? What do you think he's worth? And do you think we see a deal done?
Listen, what I think is that Hunter Renfrow needs to get out of Las Vegas, okay? Actually, everybody needs to get out of Las Vegas because Josh McDaniels is an idiot, and he's wasting all the talent there. So I think that they need to send Hunter Renfrow to my Pittsburgh Steelers, and I think that it wouldn't even cost that much. I think that it would just be about, I think the Steelers give a 6th-round pick, and we get Hunter Renfrow and a 7th-round pick. I think it would be a late round swap, and because they don't even use him. And
Yeah.
he's disgusting.
And-
He's a insane route runner, and they don't even use him. So.
And to your point, so y'all lost Chase Claypool just a year ago.
Thank God.
Yeah, right. You traded him over to Chicago. But I feel like there has been a bit of a hole there. You have Pickens, you have Deontay Johnson, but a third receiver would not hurt in the slightest. It'd be awesome, actually, especially with Pat Freiermuth on IR. It
Yeah.
gives you a chance to really open up your offense.
Yeah.
And, they've been trying to get rid of Renfrow for a minute now that they've had Devontae Adams and Jacoby Myers.
Mm-hmm.
So I do think you could trade a 6 for Renfrow and a 7th. I think you could get him at a steal right now.
Easily worth it because Allen Robinson, the signing that we made over the offseason, he's not Allen Robinson anymore. He's not Jags Allen Robinson. He's looking like Bears Allen Robinson. He's looking bad. So I don't necessarily want him gone. He's a veteran presence, but I want Hunter Renfrow.
Moving on. This is a name that I wasn't too excited to talk about, but after this past weekend, I don't think I've been more excited to talk about somebody. DeAndre Hopkins. His price is going to go through the roof based on one game. Randy Moss stat line, 4 receptions, I believe 138 yards and 3 touchdowns.
That's right.
It's ridiculous. I think before Sunday, before Will Levis came in and shocked the world, he was worth maybe a 3rd. You'd be lucky if you got a 3rd from D-Hop.
Right.
After that game, I could see them fleecing somebody for a 2nd and a 6th or 7th easy.
I just don't see it personally because I think that DeAndre Hopkins just signed there in free agency.
That's fair.
Will Levis is now the starter, and they want to develop him. So having a receiver like DeAndre Hopkins to help develop him is definitely a better idea than trading a guy that you just signed 2 months ago, 3 months ago. So I personally hope that he stays in Tennessee. I don't really see him getting traded. But we can segment into a guy that I really do see getting traded, and that's Jerry Jeudy.
Agreed.
I think that Jerry Jeudy needs to get out of Denver.
Oh, he needs to get out of town.
Yeah.
Mr. Tyler Brownrigg, I want to throw this one to you out here. Jerry Jeudy is a guy I think could end up as a wide receiver 2 or 3 on a lot of teams if they really wanted to get him for that. And I think Denver is just trying to stockpile picks, so they may be willing to give him up for a reasonable price. What are your thoughts on this? Do you think he's traded, and if so, to where and for what?
I feel like Jerry Jeudy, he's such a talented receiver. He
Yeah.
just isn't utilized a lot. And he gets a lot of hate because he's not producing and has this minor injury history. I think Denver should trade him because it's just not working there. He doesn't like Russ. Sean Payton is just a walking disaster of a coach right now, it seems like. So I think just any wide receiver needy team, like division rival, I don't see this likely happening, but Kansas City would be outstanding for Jerry Jeudy. I think he'd be great there. Mahomes needs a reliable wide receiver 1, and taking a chance on Jerry Jeudy, who's a first-round talent, I think would be good. I think because it's a division rival, you'll need to ask. The asking price will be a lot higher, but I think that would be a good destination for him.
I honestly would not disagree in the slightest. And this is one that I want to glaze over a little bit, just move past. But I don't even want to talk about this one. But Mike Evans, his name has been floating around a little bit. I don't like him on the trade block. I don't think we need to trade him. He should retire a buck. He's had the greatest opening for a wide receiver since rookie year in NFL history, with about to be 10 consecutive seasons with 1,000 receiving yards. Do we think there's a chance he's traded, or do we think the Bucs hold on to him?
I think he walks. You got to pay him.
Yeah,
Nah.
we do have to pay him.
I think he retires a buck, like you said.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Holy crap.
What
What
a
do you
setup.
think here?
Oh.
What do you think here?
In terms of Mike Evans, I hope he does retire, but if I'm him, I'm walking. It
Yeah.
hasn't been the best. I mean, especially since Brady left, there hasn't been the production, the success that you would want, especially when you're putting in the amount of time, the amount of effort that Mike Evans has. Obviously, Chris Godwin's going to take some touches, which might impact, but, I mean, it's not the biggest deal in the world.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Tampa's doing pretty well, at least so far with Baker. I'm not
Yeah.
too disappointed. I wouldn't be
We're
too
not bad.
disappointed if I were you, but
Yeah, no. I'm definitely not. Moving forward. Actually, real quick, who do we think is the most likely receiver to be traded? One name. What do you got, Jared?
I got Hunter Renfrow.
Hunter Renfrow?
I think it's also Hunter Renfrow.
I would agree Hunter
Yeah.
Renfrow.
yeah, I would agree.
Hunter Renfrow.
There's
I
not
think
much
we
to
can
lose.
lock in. He's getting traded for a 6.
Today.
6 Renfrow and a 7th. Lock it in. Place your don't place bets.
I'm ordering my Steelers jersey.
That's another show. That's
We're
another
not a
show.
gambling show.
Gamble on Thursday.
Moving on, we have some
Lie.
we have some running backs to talk about, and I'm going to list all 4 names. All right.
All right.
I want you to tell me who you think is going to get most traded, what they're worth. We're going to dive into it a little bit. We have Saquon Barkley, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Dalvin Cook, and Zach Moss. I think the only person on this list who hasn't, or only 2 people who haven't been that productive is surprisingly Dalvin Cook and Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Right.
You could debate Saquon. You could argue Saquon for sure.
Saquon
You could
was
definitely
hurt.
argue Saquon.
I don't know.
He was,
He's,
but
he's just off a 100-yard game. So like,
Yeah.
that's
That's
a fair
fine.
point.
They
But
give him, like,
outside of that,
36
he's
carries.
been
I
quite
think-
rusty. It's been his worst year since 2020 when he had his
Yeah.
ACL.
Yeah.
But
I
he's not the Saquon we know. He's not.
no.
True.
And I personally think the Giants are going to hold on to him as long as they can. Because I think the more they hold on to him, the more he's depreciating. I don't think they're going to get as much as they would if they traded him last year when they probably should have.
Yeah.
They're not going to get as much now as they would have then. I think it's better for their own interest to keep him and just lose him, have him walk at some point.
Yeah.
A name that I do think might get moved is Mr. Zach Moss. I do think Zach Moss may get moved here. He's had a lot of touches. Colts get Jonathan Taylor back. You just paid the man. Why?
I think that makes it a lot interesting. Part of me thinks that the Colts are kind of kicking themselves a little bit
Oh, they
for
are.
caving and paying Jonathan Taylor. Zach Moss was top. I think he is still top 5 in rushing, maybe.
Yeah, he is. He's
So-
top 2, I'm pretty sure.
He is.
He's
yeah,
second behind
and
Christian.
he's
Yeah.
one of the most efficient runners in football right now. And then you paid Jonathan Taylor. Now having a lightning and thunder backfield is always great, but it's like we're paying this guy now like $13 million a year in Jonathan Taylor, and we could have traded him with high value. Meanwhile, we have Zach Moss on this cheap deal, and now he's one of the best rushers in the league. So you probably are going to want to get rid of him, but running back is just not a need that teams are like going to call up and say, yeah, we'll trade for him.
Yeah.
I could see maybe the Vikings could go after him because running back has been a
please.
constant
Yeah,
issue.
no.
We got our first rushing
Alexander
touchdown of the
Madison
I agree,
stinks.
but shut up.
He got me 3.6
So it's
fantasy points this week.
But Zach
It's
Moss, I don't
ridiculous.
think will be a guy that goes anywhere this trade deadline.
Really?
don't see it happening.
I would argue that the Colts are going to field calls, but I don't think they're going to make them.
I agree.
I do think if they get the right offer, he will be dealt. But I think because of how much production he's had recently, I don't think they're going to sell him for anything less than a third. I think they're going to I think they're going to hold him at a high price. He's the second leading rusher in the
They
league
should.
right now.
They really should.
Like if you're going to get rid of him, if you're going to hand that backfield back to Jonathan Taylor, you need something in return here. He has been dominant so far. But we do have a miscellaneous tab that we're moving into. And I know we have a few highlighted players here, but there's one player in particular that I know someone is very passionate about, Mr. Tyler Brownrigg, Daniil Hunter. This guy better get traded. I'm going to be disappointed. Where do you think he's
shouldn't get
going?
traded
Where do you
now.
think he's going, and what do you think he's worth?
If he does get traded, he's currently tied, I believe, still with the league leader in sacks.
Yep.
He's at 9. If you told me 2 weeks ago the Vikings are going to trade him, I'd be like, great, we should get a first. He's one of the best defensive players in football right now.
Yep.
He's a stud. Now, the Vikings are 500, and they're like, the season is saved, but Kirk Cousins tore his Achilles, and now everything's down the drain. So it's like, I don't think the Vikings can trade him. I don't think you can at this point. This team, this locker room is so together now. They just started winning.
They're
And
not
it's
listening
just-
to Creed pregame. this locker room is not together. I don't want to hear it.
They listened to Kirk Cousins, his hymn music, and it worked apparently.
Actually, Kirk Cousins credited Creed's music for his back-to-back wins a couple weeks back.
Did he actually?
I mean, yeah, he did. He came out and said, "I listened to Creed and I won back-to-back."
True story.
True story.
Correct.
True story. It's Creed. If you want to win games, listen to Creed. That being said, though, you said they shouldn't trade him, but he's worth a first. Real quick, one word. Do anybody think Chase Young can get traded for a first?
No.
No?
I think so. He's having a bounce back year, 5 sacks. Yeah.
Very fair. I'm going to say no.
I'm going to say no.
And that is all the time we have. Gentlemen, I want to thank you for coming on and talking NFL trades. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have. But lock in Hunter Renfrow to the Steelers for tomorrow. Tonight.
Today.
Yeah, and we'll see you right after this quick commercial break.
Hello there, everybody. My name is Dominic Mullen. Welcome to Hitting the Field Network. Our first show that you're going to see on YouTube is Hitting the Field Main Show, hosted by yours truly on Mondays at noon, where you'll see me with a fresh fade and fresh news. I'll also be talking a little bit of the hottest topics in sports, and we are going to be arguing mainly on there. On Tuesdays at noon, you'll see Isaiah Deanda Delgado and Ty Paton on the Combine. Just more of a podcast, laid-back style of a show. And if you're looking for the most creative segment ideas, head on over there on Tuesday. On our off day, don't forget to check out the studio vlogs on Wednesdays. Andrew Montano does a great job of giving a little bit of the behind-the-scenes look into Hitting the Field. Moving to Thursdays, speaking of Andrew Montana, him, Philip Powell, and Ezra Hines lead the way on HTF Bets. The Bets boys always come dressed to impress, and if you're looking to win some money and catch up on the latest betting lines, that's the show for you. On Fridays, you're going to head over and see Maddie Glass and the always wrong Tyler Brownrigg on Nighttime to break down everything about college sports. If you go to UCF or are interested in UCF sports, this is the best place for you. Sorry, Tyler. Our newest show here at Hitting the Field on Saturdays is Girl Talk, hosted by Kirsten Blaylock and Lexi Zolo. The all-female hosted show tackles breaking news all across the sports world and as well reliving the history and current state of your favorite team. Check that show out Saturdays at noon. Again, I am your main show host, Dominic Moeller, and if you're enjoying this content, don't be afraid to subscribe to our Hitting the Field YouTube and check out our Instagram. But for now, that's all. I'll see you on main show. Take care.
Combine, and we are currently entered in one of the most hot, crazy costume contests, spooky season that you've ever seen in your entire life. So I will be throwing it directly to the table with the men and women in black. Gentlemen and ladies, the floor is yours.
Hello, and thank you to our HTF costume contest. Today, we will be asking people in HTF what they dressed up for Halloween, and we will be giving them some trivia questions, and we will see who in HTF has the best Halloween costume, other than us, because I think we kind of...
We won.
We won on that
as
one.
normal, we won.
Yeah, but we're going to see who else is. So, can we get our first contestant going? Can we get our first costume contest contestant, por favor.
Here we have a extremely handsome gentleman, Uncle Eddie, Cousin Eddie. Come on, Clark. All right. Trivia question.
All right, our first trivia question.
All right. What is the title of the Peanuts Halloween special?
Swear to God, John Warner.
It's The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown.
Yes,
Great
sir.
answer.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know that.
Bang!
Snoopy.
Bang! All right. John Warner. You know, you just they put you on the spot, and it was a tough challenge for you, but you came and you pulled through. You know, what do you have to say to the fans?
I'm hoping that I win and get some real nice.
John, can we
real
get an
nice.
explanation on your costume? Tell us a little bit about your
Okay,
costume
so-
today.
As he incorrectly alluded to, I'm Cousin Eddie today, the cousin-in-law of Clark Griswold, the star of Christmas Vacation, the greatest Christmas movie of all time.
Indeed, he's absolutely correct.
And I live in my RV that's parked in his garage.
WW.
Great.
Thank you, Cousin Eddie.
Next up.
Next.
That was a solid costume.
Yeah,
Mr.
Great job.
we'll see.
Justice Covert, otherwise known as Spangler. How are you today?
Doing well.
Been well. My men and women in black. Our trivia question for today.
All right. Which city there's the biggest Halloween parade in the U.S.?
Boston?
No, that is
Wonk.
incorrect.
Can I answer this
They
one?
have St. Patrick's Day.
No, because it's going to the next person.
Darn. All right.
Wait,
It was a
can
tough,
you
it was a
give us
tough
an
go. It was a
explanation
tough
on
go,
your-
but you gave it what you could. What do you
Is
have to
he
say
a
to the fans?
Ghostbuster?
Can you give us an explanation, please?
Oh, wow. Oh. I'm the reporter on site. You know
Explanation for what? My
What?
costume?
Yeah. What's your costume?
Why'd you pick a Ghostbuster?
I saw it at Spirits Halloween. I didn't know that the gun was sold separately though. So
Kind of a W,
That's
though.
super
I have to say that
valid.
much.
yeah. So
Right, that's fine. Right, thank you so much for
Nice.
joining
Janitor
our show.
Justice Covert. Woo!
All right, our next costume person.
All right. Come on, buddy. We have to see this one. Mr. Noah Kemper, a.k.a. 25 Cent.
Okay.
Can I ask what's with the costume today?
I'm just here so I could find.
Atta baby, yeah, I appreciate it. And our trivia question for the day, Mason Myers.
All right, same one that they just got wrong. Which city there's the biggest Halloween parade in the U.S.?
I know the answer to this. It's crazy.
Who does it start with?
Can't say that.
I have no idea. I
mean, it's
Can you
pretty
give him a
obvious,
hint?
but
Oh.
I have no idea.
I'm so disappointed.
All right, can you give us an explanation of your costume now, please?
Yeah. So I saw 50 Cent and I'm like, oh, I can put 50% of that together. So 25 Cent. You know, we got the watch. Got the. If you can't see it, we got the clock.
Do you know the lyrics to Many Men? Oh!
well, he's gone. He
All right,
lost.
thank you so much for joining, Noah.
Now get out of here, you goody.
Thank you so much.
you
Let's
too.
get on to our next guest.
Oh, I think they're having a moment.
What are we dressed as today?
You know, I kind of forgot the years, but I am Bugs Bunny from Space Jam.
Whoa, little hoppy action. You know. Should have been Judy Hopps. From Zootopia. Our question today, Mason Myers. What do you got?
All right, the same one again. If you get it wrong, Ty Pat can answer it.
Can I really?
Yeah, which city there's the biggest Halloween parade in the U.S.?
Salem, USA.
No. Ty Pat? Nope.
No.
It's not Salem?
No. No.
Someone answer, please.
What is it? Just tell us the answer,
All right,
because we have a lot
it's
of questions.
New York City.
Oh, that's incorrect. Bro's wrong. It's
not
Salem,
incorrect.
Massachusetts. Haven't
Nobody
you ever
chose
seen
to just
Hubie
pick
Halloween?
The biggest city in the United
Yeah, it's
States,
okay.
I guess.
Goonies. Wow. You know
Anyways,
what do
can
you have to
give us
say to our producers?
a
They got
brief
the question
description of your
I feel
costume?
like it was rigged against us. They just wanted to see us all fail.
wrong. I agree. They're part of the Goon Squad. Thanks. But hey, you know, always put I love you.
Next
too.
up.
Yes, thank you for
All right.
joining.
Coach Gus, you don't get a hug. You stunk it up this past weekend. What do you got to say for yourself?
Nothing, actually. I love UCF. I love being the coach here. Boom is what I have to say.
L+ ratio. Men and women in black. Our question of the day for our esteemed head coach.
All right. What is the most commercially successful horror movie of all time?
Halloween.
No.
No, that would have been the series of all time, not the movie.
Just a single movie?
Give her another
Yeah,
chance.
yeah.
Oh, they did sign language.
It is
I
the
saw
answer.
I saw it. Hey, this game is
I
rigged.
don't have no idea
This
what you're
game
talking
is
about.
rigged.
The answer
I'm
is
willing,
it.
hey, I'm willing to put my job on the line. This game is rigged. Somebody's got to speak out.
Emily, I love your costume.
Who's Emily?
you.
That's
I'm
Gus
him.
Malzahn.
I mean Gus, sorry.
Arthur Gustavo Malzahn III.
That is
Oh.
correct.
Is his real name Arthur?
Can we get
That's
JRP
kinda
out,
lame.
Gus? Can we get rid of JRP?
Gus, what's your plan for next game?
I'm just gonna have him go out there and have fun. We've played Cincy before. We could do it again.
Yeah, I don't think that's working this season, but
Let us cook, okay?
oh, okay.
Let him cook. Let him cook.
Thank you so much for joining.
Thanks, Batman.
You're welcome.
All right, can we have our next guest going for now?
Oh.
Who's a great hit? We have Batman squared at the screen. My men and women in black. Please, question.
All right, what festival is celebrated in Germany in the fall?
I'm gonna say Oktoberfest.
All right, we gotta move quickly. I love the Batman duo.
Batman.
Okay,
We know who
Walmart,
you are.
Walmart,
Next.
Batman, goodbye.
No.
Wait.
Okay, Nolan's costume is better than
which
Ty's,
Batman
so.
are you? I'm a Christian Bale Batman. I'm the rapper Batman. Hey, it's a pleasure.
All right,
Okay,
next guest.
so-
Thank you, Batman.
We have time for like 2 more, I think.
How are we? Who? Aaron Yeager.
All right, I don't know
My
what
men
that
and women in
means.
black. Our question.
What is the most popular Halloween candy in the U.S.?
I think I know the answer to this. I hope I know the If I don't know the answer to this, I'm gonna cry.
Is it Kit Kat?
It is not.
How is it not Kit Kat? That's ridiculous.
That's okay.
Okay, next person.
Next guest. Thank you so much for coming on. Our next guest.
Camden, you're up.
We have.
Say Circle
or
K,
not.
like the cereal. Giovanni Perez, that was incredible. I hope they heard that in like Germany, dude.
All right,
How
your
are you?
trivia
What are you dressed as?
question is.
I'm back again.
Woo, this is ridiculous. Our question of the day.
All right, same one. What is the most popular Halloween candy in the U.S.?
I'm going with the least. I'm going with candy corn.
No.
That was the worst answer I've ever heard in my life. That was the worst answer I've ever heard in my life.
You want to take a guess?
Yeah, I'll take it. Oh,
Can I take a guess?
You want me to take a guess?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Reese's.
Yes.
Dub! Woo! I knew I was gonna be right. Hey. I appreciate you. Do we have time for?
We got time for one more.
We have here the man who
And then
stole
we'll
the
give our
set,
final verdict.
who tried to rob me of my glory, the Rizzler. Have you rizzed today yet?
I never stop rizzing.
Shoot me your best Riz line right now.
Why are they standing like that?
That's crazy. All right. Mason Myers, Brianna St. Jean, Maddie Glass. Our last and final question of the day.
Alrighty. What do people traditionally bob for around Halloween?
Pumpkins.
Have you
that
ever
your
bobbed
final
for
answer?
a pumpkin before?
All right, it's apples.
Yeah.
Hey, you said the
Okay.
easiest question for the Rizzler. You just want to make me look bad.
It's
I gotta
time
go
to
fight
announce
this
the
guy
winner.
later.
All right.
in
Yeah,
Gotham
let's
City.
dis- let's
This is
discuss.
crazy. All right, they're discussing. Hey, wait, come back to this camera here. We're gonna have a little post game
We
interview
don't have
while
enough
they
time.
talk. Convince yourself. All right. So
We are not doing a post-game interview,
No,
actually. We have our winner, and Maddie, would you like to, everybody, round
If
a
it's Gus
drum roll,
Malzahn,
please?
I'm gonna riot. I'm gonna riot. If it's
Emily, go.
Wait, is it Gus Malzahn? Did you give it to Emily?
Where's Gus?
Gus.
Gus.
He lost.
Gus
Gus
Malzahn!
Yeah, we're going to a bowl right now.
Woohoo!
Right.
That's all the time we have.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to the HTF costume contest, and we will see you next year.
No, we won't.
I'll see you next week. God, I don't even get my outro.
Woo!
Stealing
All right,
everything.
Pan, someone
Stealing the
pan.
contest. Stealing my
Are we
outro.
done?
Ladies and gentlemen, I have been Robert Pattinson's Batman.
Things gon' change when I really hit the field. Undefeated champs, man, you know what's the deal. Tryna find a kid, I'm in the field doing drills. Boy, you just a sucker, you ain't never keep it real. The rings in my hand, I'm a warrior to the max. When I hang it up, they gon' have to give me plaques. Step up in the building and I only bring the facts. When I make a highlight, they gon' replay, run it back. Okay, always locked.